Welcome. Today's topic will be about prefixes, suffixes, and root words.
Affixes, which are prefixes and suffixes, are placed at the beginning or end of words to modify the meaning. The first lesson we will be learning is about prefixes. Prefixes go at the beginning of words. Some common examples include pre, un, anti, pro, etc. When it comes to prefixes, you start with the prefix, then you add a word after the prefix. Adding a prefix to a word creates a new word and a new meaning. The prefix of a word has a meaning, depending on the meaning you add the word to it to create the new word you need. Keep in mind, you can't use just any word for a prefix, it has to make sense and one has to understand the meaning. Here are some examples of prefixes. We have the word re, then we add write and this creates rewrite, which means to write something again. The following example is using the prefix miss. We have the prefix miss, and then we add the word behave. This creates the word misbehave, which means to act badly. Here we have the setup of how to create a prefix and a new word. We have the first part, which is the prefix, then the word we add after it, which is equal to before. This word will mean before viewing something or doing something. In the examples we have the word preview. The word preview has many meanings, but it all means to view something before it goes out in public, like a movie, or before buying something, like a product.
In this next lesson we will be learning about suffixes. Unlike prefixes, suffixes are added to the end of words. Some common suffixes are s, ed, in, li, ity, etc. A suffix is a word part placed at the end of a root word that makes a new word. Suffixes are not words, however, they help to form longer words and can change or add to a word's meaning. A suffix shows how a word is used in a sentence and what part of speech. You have the word, then you add the suffix to the word to create the same word only longer. Like previously said, a suffix doesn't change the meaning of the word. Here are some examples of suffixes. We have the word jump, then we add the suffix ed, which creates the word jumped. Adding the suffix ed to jump made the word past tense, which means it already happened. For example, the girl jumped rope this morning. It's an action that already happened. The next example we have is the word sit, then we add the word in, which creates the word sitting. When we added the suffix into the word sit, we created an action that is currently happening. For example, the girl is sitting at her desk. Here is the format for adding a suffix to a word. You have the word, then you add the ending of the word to have the new word. Technically the same word, just a longer version. The following examples are fearless, taller, and raced. The suffix can change the action to a word, to make it past or present. Here are a few common suffixes and the meaning of the end. We have the suffix full, which means full of. Example, colorful. The suffix less, which means without. Example, hopeless. Ed, which means already happened. Example, raced. In, which means happening now. Example, sitting. Able, which means able to. Example, preventable. Li means how it is done. Example, slowly. Which means more. Example, taller. Est, which means most. Example, biggest. And this concludes our suffixes lesson.
In this last lesson we will be learning about root words. Root words are a basic word to which affixes, prefixes and suffixes are added. Because it forms the basis of a new word, the root word is also a word in its own right. For example, the word lovely consists of the word love and the suffix li. A root word holds the most basic meaning of any word. It's what's left after you remove all the affixes, the prefixes like an or anti, and suffixes such as able and tion. For example, with a word like lovely, when you take away the suffix li, you're left with the root word love. To find root words you need to take away the prefix and the suffix, which leaves you with just the root word. Sometimes the word may just have the prefix/suffix. In this example, I will explain what parts of the word is the suffix, the prefix and the root word. The word construction, the prefix is con. The suffix is iron, and the root word is struct. This concludes the lesson. Thank you for watching. And I hope you learned a lot.